Do you like to be fully controlled, or do you?
I like to be submissive. Yeah, in the bedroom,
Yes.
But like in my life, I don't like anybody to tell me what to do.
So you only want him to tell you what to do in the bedroom. Other than that, you don't want him to tell you anything.
Right. That's exactly it, yes.
So that sounds like you're a control freak with your relationships. Be careful with this one. She's gonna boss you around like
Exactly.
Sweet toxicity.
So you only date rich black guys. So like, have you ever dated like any politicians or only like rappers or athletes, or what kind of rich black guys?
You know, dabble here, dabble there, a little bit.
How much do you make a month?
A lot.
Yeah, we make good money.
Have you ever been fascinated by the glamorous lives of celebrities? It seems as if they have everything: money, the fame, and the adoration by millions of their fans. People even go as far as to worship these celebrities like they're gods. They truly have everything one could wish for. It is not uncommon for celebrities to captivate us with their charm and their talent. But what happens when their dazzling lives take a sinister turn, leading them to a path of violence and crime? It truly is a topic that leaves one wondering if we actually know who someone really is. Now, we've all seen them on screen and what they show themselves to be, but little do we know that what's on real is actually very different from what goes on in real life. What happens when that facade fades away and reality shows? Today, we're going to talk about the OnlyFans model Courtney Clenney, a once beloved star who tragically transformed from a symbol of adoration to a figure of fear. Courtney seemed to have it all: a successful career, fame, money. But behind closed doors, a darker, diabolical side emerged. Her journey to become a killer took some unexpected turns and twists, leaving us questioning the true nature of fame and the demons that lurk within. As we dive into Courtney's story, we'll talk about the events leading up to the incidents and the clues that might have hinted at her hidden darkness and the aftermath that left the world in disbelief. Who was Courtney Clenney? Now, some of you might know her as the model from OnlyFans, but do you really know who she was before the fame? Courtney Clenney was born on the 21st of April, 1996, to her mother, Deborah, and father, Kim. They lived in Texas, where Courtney and her sister Morgan grew up. Since her father, Kim, had a degree in finance and worked as a financial advisor, money was pretty good. From a young age, Courntey and Morgan were spoiled and got everything they wished for. This was pretty evident in the person she later began. Since Courtney's parents had a knack for sports and fitness, it was natural for her and her sister to pick up sports as they grew up. By the time she was in second grade, Courtney was already into an impressive list of sports, including football, volleyball, gymnastics, diving, and horse riding. Besides these, Courtney was also interested in drama and theater, and began taking classes for all of these by the time she was 13 years old. But it was during high school that Courtney found her love for gym and fitness. Moving forward, she became a qualified personal trainer, where she went on to win several weightlifting and fitness competitions. Courtney would eventually see that college wasn't the right fit for her and drops out of education to participate in fitness full-time. It was at this moment that Courtney noticed something intriguing happening. Her gym pictures, which she had been casually sharing online, started to gain an unexpected surge of attention. Little did she know that this would be the turning point of her life, thrusting her into the dazzling spotlight of the internet. As her online presence grew, Courtney found herself encountering opportunities she had never dreamed of before. Brands and followers alike were captivated by her charm, and she became a rising star in the digital realm. Embracing her newfound fame, Courtney decided to share her journey in a candid video on her YouTube channel by the name of Courtney Taylor, where she discussed how her unique content had propelled her into the limelight.
Hey guys, so today I'm gonna do a question and answers. I asked you guys on Instagram and Twitter what random questions were, or fitness questions.
The world couldn't get enough of Courtney's charm, and her story caught the attention of prestigious publications. She was soon invited to give an interview for Playboy, where she shared more about her rise to fame and the journey that led her to this extraordinary point in her life. With fame came incredible opportunities. Courtney found herself collaborating with renowned brands, and evidence of the influence she had gained over her ever-growing audience. After OnlyFans was founded in 2016 and her career began to soar, Courtney thought that she was in great shape and didn't mind the extra attention and got herself registered as a creator. For those who don't know, OnlyFans is an internet content subscription service that allows creators to share all kinds of videos and pictures exclusively made for their fans. Courtney's content swiftly gained more and more attention, and she became a sensation on the site, amassing a large following of millions. We can't say for sure how much Courtney used to make before she began her OnlyFans career, but after that, she made a staggering $3 million in less than 3 years. Now some could argue that Courtney had a life many of us would dream of. She was making millions, had a perfect figure as well as a supportive family. But it seemed as if one thing was missing, her love life. That would too be fulfilled after Courtney was captivated by a guy named Christian Toby Obumseli. Beginning of the relationship. Christian Obumseli was born on the 12th of April, 1994 in Texas. He got his schooling from there too and had a knack for sports. During high school, he started playing football and basketball. His high school coach went as far as to say that Christian was one of the most kind and caring humans he had ever seen. Later, Christian dipped his toes into the world of crypto and stocks, and as it would turn out that Christian was pretty good at it too. Combining these two passions of his, Christian was making pretty good money at the time he met Courtney. Now it is said that Christian fell in love with Courtney soon after they both met. Shortly after, they started dating. During the early days, their relationship was going pretty good, as their friends recall, that it was one of the happiest couples they had ever seen. But as time passed, the same could no longer be said. Now you might be wondering what was the cause for trouble in paradise. As it turns out, Courtney had somewhat of a temper, and it would become even worse after binging on alcohol. Christian would put up with the unnecessary fights she picked until this started getting violent. This started with Courtney hitting Christian on his chest and shoulders, screaming at the top of her lungs, and even went as far as to throw stuff on Christian. From a 911 call made by Christian during one of their fights, police claimed Courtney threw glasses and plates at Christian in order to hurt him. Courtney agreed to doing so on body cam footage.
What's going on today?
Things got blown out of proportion. Like 2 to the max.
Have you ever been cited or arrested before?
Yes.
For what?
DUI.
So, why am I here? What's going on?
My boyfriend and I just got into like a loud argument.
So you called once again for what? Why did you call for help?
Because we were getting really loud. I was like, oh my god, we're gonna like do damage to the room or something. Not damage to each other. Like I really want to like.
Why would you think?
Like that.
Why would you think that you were gonna do damage to the room?
I like throwing something or like.
Did you throw something?
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
Did anybody throw anything?
No.
So why would you think that there is damage to the room to be made?
Because I've done that before in our house, and I.
What have you done?
Thrown a glass and plate.
Did you throw a glass or a plate to a team today?
No.
Okay. So if
No, this was before.
Okay, so when I go to the room and I see a broken glass on the floor, where did the glass come from?
I don't know. I literally couldn't even remember how the fight started.
Okay, well,
Was there?
yeah, okay.
I'm being completely honest with you. I feel like my brain is scrambled eggs right now.
Did anybody punch, hit, spit, throw anything at each other? Did he hit you or you did at him?
Well, I'm guessing that it's really loud, but that sounds like me. So. Oh, by the way, I just want to say, somebody mentioned earlier about there being a chair on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That was there. I don't know why we hadn't picked that. That had nothing to do with the fight. We weren't throwing furniture at each other.
Things took a turn for worse when Christian agreed to become her personal assistant. This meant that they would always be together, and so he was further exposed to Courtney's violence. It wasn't just this. As it turns out, Courtney had developed a dependency on alcohol, and she clearly had a problem holding up her liquor. This would result in more and more frequent outbursts toward Christian. But later, the couple decided to get over their fights and start a new chapter somewhere else. Christian wanted to move to London, but Courtney always had her eyes set on Miami, and as always, Courtney got her way, and the couple moved to Miami. With the amount of money Courtney was making, it was obvious that they would be moving into a grand apartment paying rent upwards of $10,000 per month. Most of the rent was paid by Courtney alone, and as a result, she threatened to kick out Christian multiple times and called him racial slurs. Then comes the infamous elevator footage where Courtney is clearly seen hitting while hurling slurs at Christian while he tries to maintain a distance and tries to push her away. Anytime police would be called, Christian would try and take Courtney's side. Now this could be because he was afraid some of his own doings would come to light. But we can't say that for sure. Courtney would often throw Christian's belongings off the terrace, thrash their apartment, and hit him whenever she got enraged. Despite all this, the couple kept their relationship going. It would have been a good idea to end it then and there because on 3rd of April 2022, something so gruesome happened which no one could have imagined. The 3rd of April 2022. On the 2nd of April, while in the apartment building, Courtney and Christian had a very public fight and police were called. Once they arrived, Courtney asked the officers that she would like a restraining order against Christian, but then later decided not to.
Can you please let me into my apartment? Please?
Okay.
Yes.
Hold on. What's going on?
Okay.
Where's your apartment? You have a key?
We have
Ma'am, you don't need to talk to me.
What's going on? Lying about
Where's your key?
I'm in my apartment.
You didn't call.
I didn't. Nobody.
I called. You called.
What?
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay, hold on, ma'am. Let him talk.
Okay.
Ma'am, hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The front desk personnel, this young lady, I was actually, with the other guy. She informed us that Miss Courtney, her boyfriend, was trying to get into the elevator with her, but she had her hands out like this. Okay. And she had her hands out like this, and she was like, "Oh no, don't come inside the elevator."
Okay.
So we asked her. I said, "Do you want him to leave the property?" She said no. She don't want him to.
I did not say that. I said yes.
Hold on.
No, but this.
Hold on. He's talking, then you talk.
Let him speak.
Let him speak.
Nigga, your turn. Nigga, your turn.
We were quiet when you were speaking. Why not?
I say, are you certain for sure? Do you want him to leave? Oh no. And then I just said, enough is enough. Police need to be called. She said she don't want police to be called.
Okay.
Okay, but you
Time
told me I was
time out. Let me talk. Okay.
I feel very like.
What's your name? Courtney?
Yes.
Okay, Courtney.
Why do you have something against me, man? Like I'm just trying to like. Are you gonna listen?
We're listening. Go
Did you
ahead.
say something wrong?
Yes.
Courtney, what's going on? What do you need?
Okay, can you please?
What?
Yes. Yeah, good enough.
My boyfriend. He and my he hasn't been any I don't care. I'll hold it down. This guy said I shoved her. When I was upstairs and they showed up at my door, I said I shoved him. I said, show me the fucking video. Like I really got angry because that did not happen. All I did was take my dogs around.
All right. So what do you want to say?
I want a restraining order against Christian and Gonzalez.
We don't issue those.
Because
Those
I'm
to
serious.
courts.
Can I do that?
You
Where
have to
can
go
I
to court. You have to go to
Okay, but
downtown.
how can I make
petition.
myself first?
Who's on the phone with you?
Just my dad.
Okay. Well, let me
Which I think is reasonable.
let me explain to you something with your dad on the phone, so you could hear me. You asked me, how can I get a restraining order against him? I answer you, we don't issue those. That's through court. You asked me, I need to get one before him. I told you, the only way is for you to get to court. Then you asked me, is he on the way already? And I asked you, I didn't even know how he looks like. You understand? Your questions are making much of an.
I am.
Listen to me answer my questions, please. Does he have property in the room, in the apartment with you? A lot of property, you said. He's been with you here for about 2 months, right? Has he on and off, or is staying with you?
For 2 months, every day.
Staying with you for 2 months here with you?
Okay. Except for last week, he wasn't.
Okay, let me let you know something. He lives here. That person lives in that apartment with you. Okay, we cannot trespass anybody that lives in this place. So we can tell, by law, we cannot do this.
And that's I do understand that, and that is why I said, can I get a restraining order and get there first?
Listen, my answer was, I already answered that. You got it. Just go to the court.
Just stop.
They're
stalking me.
The following morning, it seemed as if the couple had making up and were ready to work on their relationships, but things were not as they seemed. Now, according to Courtney's side of the story, it was like a normal day to them. The couple had spent the afternoon together in their apartment. Courtney remained on call with her mother most of the time while doing laundry, while Christian went out for a bit to clear his head around 1 p.m. Once he got back, things started to get a bit awry. Courtney picked up a fight asking Christian why he had his location turned off. Now, for those of you who don't know, there are apps that let you know your friend's location at any time. Most of these apps are used innocently by couples to know what their significant other is doing at any given time, but sometimes people use it to keep tabs on each other. Same was the case for Courtney, who figured something was fishy since Christian's location was turned off. Christian agreed to turning it on, but when he demanded the same from Courtney, she declined. Now, what I'm telling you right now is just what Courtney told the police. The details could very well be made up. We will never know for sure. As Courtney says, her response to his request got him angry, and he grabbed her neck and pushed her to the floor. Courtney quickly called her mother for support, but this got Christian even angrier, and he started charging towards her in the kitchen. In defense, Courtney grabbed a kitchen knife and threatened to stab Christian if he came any closer. But apparently Christian did not stop, and she hurled the knife at him from 10 feet away. The knife ended up stabbing Christian. Courtney then proceeded to call 911, and excerpts from the call make it obvious that she was already regretting her actions.
Ma'am, listen to me. You need to stop screaming on the line and give me the address. 3101. Ma'am, my boyfriend is dying of a stab. Ma'am, what is the address? What's the address? 3130 Northeast 7th Ave. Please, God, please, come see my boyfriend. Is this a house, apartment, or a business? Baby, I'm so sorry. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Christian could be heard talking in the background, scared for his life. Once police got there, they noticed pools of blood scattered across the apartment. Courtney herself was covered in the blood of her victim. Christian was quickly taken to the hospital, considering how much blood he had lost. It was a race against time, which, as it would turn out, he did not win. Aftermath. Once Courtney's interrogation was done, investigators came to the conclusion that it was all just a big domestic dispute that accidentally got exacerbated. Courtney was admitted to a psychiatric hospital, and believe it or not, she was released after 2 days and was allowed back into the real world. Now, once Courtney was out, she took to her alcoholic habits again.
Yeah, and they're seeking justice. Yeah,
What?
let's all videotape her. Right now, you should go. Yeah, you should go. Because you just know my boyfriend. Yeah, you did. Yeah, and yeah, okay, cool.
Naturally, this disturbed Christian's family, and they hired a lawyer to fight their case. They also started a GoFundMe on Christian's name. While on the other hand, Courtney was out splurging her money on bars and houses. Now, to anyone, this would clearly suggest that Courtney's behavior was different than that would be of a victim. While Courtney's lawyer had the investigators convinced that this was done out of defense, there was another fire brewing. This would finally come to light once Christian's lawyer had gathered all the evidence, and they pressed charges against Courtney, and she was arrested on 10 of August 2022. The evidence against Courtney was clear-cut in many recordings, text messages, and statements by their friends. But the most damning piece of evidence was that Christian's injury could not have been caused by a knife thrown from 10 feet away. With a depth of 8 centimeters or 3 inches, it became quite clear that Christian was wounded by someone in close proximity to him.
Based on the information we received that the defendant was alleged to have thrown this knife, do your observations support that?
I'm not an expert in knife throwing. If the person who supposedly did this is an expert knife thrower, and the knife is the type of knife that you can throw, I guess that could have happened.
Did you receive any information that the defendant was a knife thrower?
No.
So based on that fact that you did not receive that information, would it support that?
No.
And what would you expect to see a knife do if someone just flung it at somebody?
Throw it the way a knife thrower throws it?
No, just not a knife thrower.
It would just hit the body and bounce off.
Now, as a result of this case, did you come to a cause, or did you make a determination as to the cause and manner of death?
Yes.
Can you please explain this report?
The cause of death was stab wound of right subclavian artery. The manner of death was homicide.
Furthermore, Courtney's claims of Christian grabbing him by the neck were disproved, since no marks or bruises on her neck could be determined. Courtney's case was put on trial, and she awaits along with thousands of people to see what truth comes out of it. Her trial is set for 2023. Regardless of the fact that whether or not she was in the influence of alcohol, her actions cannot be pardoned. Courtney took the life of Christian Obumseli. Whether it was self-defense or straight-up murder, we shall find out in a few months. Remember, domestic violence is a serious issue that affects countless individuals and families around the world. It's not just a private matter, it's a societal problem that requires our attention and action. If you or someone you know is facing domestic violence, don't hesitate to seek help and support. There are resources available, such as helplines, shelters, and support groups that can provide a safe haven for victims and survivors. No one should have to endure abuse or violence in any form, and reaching out for help can be the first step towards breaking the cycle. Let's work together to break the silence surrounding domestic violence and support those who need it. Whether it's through raising awareness, offering a listening ear, or promoting healthy relationships, each one of us can make a difference. Remember, you are never alone and help is available. Let's stand united against domestic violence and strive for a safer and more compassionate world for everyone. Together, we can create lasting change and build a future where everyone can live free from fear and harm. Your safety is important, and there are people ready to listen and support you on your journey towards healing and empowerment.